All right, guys, thanks for coming. We're the Dream Team. My name's Kevin Schultz, and this is Kevin Thomas, Michael Batuk, Shannon Fogelman, and Colin Vittori. We prepared this presentation today in order to analyze different branding methods that could be utilized by Regina Matter online. We started this process off by first identifying Regina Matter's problem. We identified that they were seeking to expand their student body, but there were problems because there was low numbers of applicants, and they had a very weak online presence. So not many people were able to connect with Regina Matter, and they were, like I said, receiving a low number of applicants. So the purpose of our research was to distribute surveys and identify the online habits of the target markets, to investigate these surveys and analyze the data to come up with recommendations to provide to Regina Matter on what we think are the most appropriate branding methods. The methods we used to do this were distributing surveys to conduct primary research, and then analyzing those surveys, and then conducting secondary research based off of our analysis in order to find appropriate information to help Regina Matter with their marketing. And in order to discuss our primary research in more depth, I'm going to pass it on to Kevin Thomas.
Hi, thank you, Kevin. As Kevin said, my name is Kevin Thomas. I will be discussing about the primary analysis of the Regina Matter project. So in total, we passed out 175 surveys to people in the St. Edwards community, which included staff from the marketing office, submission office, other teachers, and also we passed out to family and friends who are in the age of like early 30s or late 20s. And from 175 surveys that we passed out, we conducted that 156 were valid surveys. And how we reached that conclusion is by the first two questions that we put on the survey, which included the first one we asked them was, do you have children? A simple yes or no question. And the second one was, do you plan on having children? That was a yes, maybe, or no. And if they said no to both of those questions, their surveys were invalid. But if they said yes or maybe to one of those two questions, their surveys were valid for us. So after we got that invalid and invalid surveys, we analyzed them, which Mike will discuss in detail. And we did the same kind of analysis when it came to Regina Matter surveys. So we would approach the Regina Matter surveys and the other regular surveys in the same method. But yeah, at this time I'll pass it down to Mike to talk about the primary research findings.
All right, guys, I'm Mike, and I'll be talking about some primary research findings that we have. So, according to our surveys, the majority of individuals that we surveyed have never heard of Regina Matter. I believe it was 76% to be exact have never heard of Regina Matter. And this was a curious finding because it wasn't based on any questions or anything. But we had I feel like a pretty solid description of what a hybrid school is on the front page of the surveys. And even after reading that, so many people still have questions, like they did not fully understand what hybrid schooling is. Sometimes I would say, oh, it's kind of like private school with like an element, or it's kind of like homeschooling with an element of private school. That's when they would go, oh, okay. Of the people that we surveyed, most rated hybrid schooling to be the least efficient method. Maybe that's because they didn't understand what it was, but you're gonna have to read the explanation. And let's see here. Most ranked private schooling as the most efficient. So there's that. And here's a couple of graphs of the primary research findings. As you can see, the majority have never heard of Regina Matter, and we did a ranking from 1 to 5 on the effectiveness of different schooling methods, and as you can see, homeschooling is number 1. It has the most number 1 ranking. Now, when it came down to questions concerning internet usage, the first question that we asked was how frequently do you use the internet? And most people said 87% either use it daily or frequently. Out of Google and some social media websites, and then local and national news websites. Most found Google to be the most useful when trying to find important information, and most people rank the social media websites to be the least useful. Seriously. So here is the graphs. Website usefulness, Google by far has the most votes. And then we also asked participants if hybrid schooling was a possibility for their children. And yes, or potential children, they'll have one day. And yes, a large majority, 68% said no, but I mean, almost a third said yes. So that just confirms that Regina Matter has a pretty big potential market. If you think about it. And then Regina Matter only research findings when compared to our research findings. Their survey participants rated public schooling the least efficient method. They rated homeschooling the most efficient, and rated Google the most useful, and Twitter the least. So at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Shannon Fogel, who is going to present you with some secondary research findings.
And as Mike said, I'm Shannon, and I'm doing the secondary research. So the themes that we researched were technology and efficient advertising methods, which is because our primary research showed us that Regina Matter wasn't being branded the way that we thought it could be. And so the methodology we used, we looked at a business study, national survey, and then Alt-Ed Austin and Homeschool Mom are some websites that we looked into. The Wharton School of Business study revealed that the most effective form of advertising was through outdoor or like billboards, and that's the one that reached the most people per dollar, and then radio reached the second most people. And it also showed that direct mail, although it was highly targeted, it was the most expensive. So it was good to use if you had like an idea of the people that you wanted to reach already. And the national survey revealed that it was 82% of Americans said that they listened to the radio every week. And then Alt-Ed Austin and Homeschool Mom listed a bunch of different schools that were in the Austin area that were possible alternatives to public schooling. And Regina Matter was listed on Homeschool Mom, but it was not listed on Alt-Ed Austin. And so to recap, we're saying most alternative programs were found on those websites, except Regina Matter was only found on Homeschool Mom. And then, also from the national survey, it revealed that social media, it was used by many to feel connected, but they didn't find it to be a reliable source of information. And then, again, outdoor advertising, billboards was the most effective form of advertising for your dollar, and radio is the second most. And so now I'll be passing it off to Colin, who's going to be doing the recommendations and conclusions.
Thank you, Shannon. All right, I'm Colin. I'm going to be going over our recommendations and concluding our presentation. Our number one recommendation was to expand awareness and recognition in Austin. We think the school can do this best through advertising, possibly through Christian radio stations and billboards. Both these methods can be a little expensive, so if you want to go through cheaper advertising, it'd be best to contact some homeschooling or private schooling websites and just have them include Regina Matter's information on their websites. Second recommendation was to target parents looking for homeschooling options. Once again, you can do this by going through homeschooling websites or forums, just maybe posting on the forums about the school and its options as a good way to target these people. We thought that by moving away from social media and focusing on other forms of advertising, they'd be able to attract new customers. Local websites or local newspapers ranked higher than Facebook or Twitter for people looking for serious recommendations, so that would be a good option. And if they could simplify the definition of a hybrid school, we found that in our surveys, people didn't quite understand what it was, despite the fact that we gave them a definition. We could simplify that somehow, or possibly even make it so that Regina Matter is considered an educational organization. That would be very positive in a lot of people's minds. in conclusion to our presentation, Kevin went over our problems. Kevin Thomas discussed our primary research and data analysis. Mike discussed our findings, and Shannon went over our secondary research. Our two most important recommendations were to focus on expanding awareness and recognition and to target parents looking for homeschooling options who maybe just don't have the time to do homeschooling 5 days a week. I'd like to thank you guys for your time and listening to us. Are there any questions?